Peasant Productions presents The Math of ESP. Why it works even if you don't believe in it. Previous video I made mention about karma. Things that happen, things that are. The twists and turns of fate and stuff like that, yes. There's a lot of things that people have to stop and think about. Now, if you've been following along through a bunch of these, you know that I talk about how the energy you put out is the direction things are actually going to go in. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's unfortunately, like I say, the cross is a murder weapon. You are worshiping a murder weapon. So no matter what, at the very base of everything, there is this energy that goes out to the bad. The fact that you believe it to be an ultra super sacrificial statement tempers that, yes, okay. And then, of course, within that is the variation of the flavors of how much you are playing the game of the church, how much you're aware of it, how much you utilize it and use it against people. Whole variations within that would individually flavor an individual person. That's where I talk about all these tens of thousands of millions of points of light passing through you and how you understand the unlimited nature is much better to have. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get out of stuff. It doesn't mean things are going to be better, necessarily. But it leaves you with free choice that, yes, it could have made a difference depending on which way you made your choices. Now, like it says across here on the screen, I've got Revelations 2:17. I was up on a mountainside doing my own kind of private retreat thing when it happened. I made the agreement not to tell a human being about it unless I told everybody everywhere about it. I was completely candid and open about it, or I was completely shut mouth. That's the kind of deals you get into with gods. Anyway, I took it as an insult. I did not like this mark on me. And one of the things that I ended up doing was getting together with a Catholic woman. And even though there were warning signs to me that I need to back off, walk away, possibly give it different consideration and thought, subsequent decisions based upon the idea of society, family, whatever goes on. I mean, I married the woman, and 3 days later I was ready to annul it, and I realized, gee, my family's got a heck of a lot of money invested in the two of us in a business, and this going on and that going on, and all kinds of stuff. And maybe I shouldn't just, really jump the gun so hard. Okay, well, it turned out totally lousy marriage, totally lousy way of life to look back on. The only bright glimmer in there is my son. And he's been abused to the point we can't be in the same room together. So, yeah. All kinds of fun and game for me when I remember family. The thing is that it was me making the decisions to try and avoid getting away from something that I thought was coming. And all of that. Well, there are those who know in the 70s, I frequently spoke of not wanting to be on the planet December 31st, 1992. And it was prophesied as the worst day of my life. Okay, I walked directly into that. Okay, December 31st, 1992, 11:35 p.m. at night. my wife walked in and announced to me that she didn't marry me to be married. She married me to be divorced. Come hell or high water, she'd destroy everything around me, including her love of destroying her own son's life, because her father got kicked out of her life, and it was only fitting to get revenge on somebody in the past by hurting somebody in the future. Yeah, needless to say, very horrible day, folks. I don't look back on any of that with any pleasure anymore, I can assure you. But I totally walked into it on my own. So you see, there is such a thing as having your own decisions. There is such a thing as being able to decide what you're going to do. You don't get to cop out and say, it's not my fault. Okay? That's like the drug addict that can't stop talking about drugs. Why? Because that's all they want to talk about, okay? They may be addicted because they're strictly into the pleasure of it. They may be addicted to it because they've had a really rotten life and are addicted to it. They might be addicted to it because they have a gene that says that, you know, you get this particular chemical, you're hooked. You're hooked as big as any fish possible in the ocean. You know, you're not getting away. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's simply walking into it. Okay, and doing it, having it happen, being the reality of what's going on. Okay. I mean, you want me to carry it out for, okay, December 31st, 1995, okay? This broken arm is because I then had to be in court for so long that I beat the snot out of lawyers and judges and made their life a miserable hell. So they beat the snot out of me to try and tell me I couldn't be so good. Yeah. I mean, what do you say? What do you tell people when they're that stupid? Okay? Needless to say, what do you tell yourself when you are that stupid to actually realize that by trying to do everything you could to get away from the prophecy of your childhood, of your early 20s, in your teenage years, of being told you would go up against the United States government and kick shit? Okay, fine, I did. I don't have the win that I would like to have, but nonetheless, I have walked this entire path, and yeah, I've made my own choices, folks, okay? I'm as an individual as they come. But I can also look at an awful lot of it that I can sit down with people that if they want to open their mouths, it's their decision. If they want to open, they would have to admit that yes, such conversations did happen and exist. I have discussed prophecies about myself, not about the world in general. I've kept my mouth shut about that until just the past couple of years. But you walk into your karma, folks. You're still making choices, okay? The people, like I said, it's unlimited. Everybody wants to put limits on stuff. Oh, it can only be this. It can only be red, green, purple, yellow, whatever. It doesn't freaking matter. No. It's every color you can possibly imagine. And some you can't because you humans are still learning how to see the spectrum. You don't know how much is out there. The fact that you can get to photograph the edge or theorize the edge of your universe doesn't mean that nothing exists beyond it. It means you simply don't know how to see what is beyond it. And that's karma. You aren't seeing beyond what's around the corner, so you don't quite know how to go about avoiding it. If I had not got together with that Catholic woman who so riled my guts and turned life upside down on me, I may still have been in this fight for a different reason, in a different place, in a different time. Okay? It doesn't really change in that perspective. Something may or may not happen. You don't know. I mean, part of what I'm dealing with, is waiting to see what happens with a whole bunch of different kinds of comments made to me, both from the spiritual realm and people walk in this physical realm that, other people can verify. If these people want to say that, yeah, they said that, they're going to be pretty open about it. Or they're going to be, excuse me, I don't want to discuss, and run away, okay? It's pretty obvious. I've always talked about this stuff. Now, whether it is self-fulfilling, because it's other people making the comment about me being there, okay? Me being the one going up and fighting the United States government all by my lonesome and single-handedly. It's not me proclaiming that I'm going to do this. Nonetheless, here I am. I'm a whistleblower. And yeah, I am that karma. I am that person that has always been in there fighting and plugging away and trying to do something different. You folks spend a lot of time arguing. I mean, it's the old, we're going to form a committee to discuss the idea of forming a committee, to oversee a problem that we think we need to form a committee for, to discuss the idea of building a committee to actually fix the problem. That's why you're always late for supper. You're too busy talking about what you're going to do sometime in the future instead of actually realizing that you've got to get down to it. Life is for living, not waiting for. Life isn't an insurance policy. You don't pay a lot of money with the hopes that some guy on the other side is going to honor whatever it was you signed on this side. Merry Christmas!